Hello and welcome to another edition of Tech Videos by Piedmont Fiberglass. Today we're in the training room here at the plant, and the topic of today is receiving rings. Now, receiving rings is a product that Piedmont Fiberglass developed a number of years ago to make the installation of its steeples onto pre-engineered metal buildings much easier. Now, we have here a display set up with all the components of a standard pre-engineered metal building. We have main beams, have two of these, as well as a connector beam between the two main beams, round tubing that would come up and through the roof decking, which the roof decking is here, as well as a ridge cap and the deck type boots. So we have all the components of a standard pre-engineered metal building here. Okay, so what is a receiving ring? This is a steel ring made of steel angle, and once you order your steeple, we build an anchor for the steeple as well as this receiving ring, and they are a matched pair of rings. The steeple base is designed to fit and connect to this. Now, the holes are pre-drilled in both rings, so when it arrives, everything matches up. Everything will go well. It is also marked with an F to denote the front of the building as well. So when it arrives, what you'll be receiving is this gray area here. None of these other components, they're only for display. So all you'll be receiving is what is shown here in gray. Then it's up to others to connect it to the main beams of the building, and it can be done by, like we've chosen here, round piping. You can use angle, I-beam, whatever you deem necessary, but we would recommend that you do consult with local building codes to make sure everything is in accordance to local codes. So once it arrives on site, you connect this to your roofing system. We'll need a little more information before we can start building your steeple. We'll need to know how high this ring is mounted above the roof deck. Now, you need to be about 3 or 4 inches from the ridge cap right here. But what we also need is the distance between the edge down to the roof deck. So just lay an ordinary level here, just use a tape measure, and get this measurement down to the roof deck. Also, if you would, do it on the flat part of the roof deck instead of the standing seam as well. Now, to make double sure that it's not cocked a little bit, we do recommend that you come over to an opposite corner and also get that dimension as well. So what this will do is allow us to be able to mount the ring that goes into the steeple base at the proper height. Okay, now we're going to switch over and show you how the actual steeple mounts down to the receiving ring. We've lowered the display steeple down onto the deck of our test stand that shows the receiving ring. So the receiving ring is actually inside the steeple base here. Now, when the unit arrives, the pitch nor the cutouts for the standing seam will be trimmed out. That has to be done on site by the steeple installer. So to do that, you just need to determine where they line up across the standing seams. Take a piece of cardboard and just make a template and cut this out with a fine-tooth jigsaw blade, as well as the pitch or the slope of the roof. And then here, this one has a ridge cap, and you see we've got a nice cutout for the ridge cap, so everything rests straight down onto the roof. We're now looking at the inside of the steeple, showing both the receiving ring as well as the anchor ring that has been permanently attached to the inside of the steeple. Now, you see this gray area here. This is the receiving ring. Over here, this is the anchor ring. And if you'll notice, the bolts that extend through it, they match up and align perfectly because they were match drilled at the factory, so everything lines up nicely. Now, what you see here is the jack bolts here. Now, this system is designed not for these rings to match together and sit on top of each other. They are designed to be raised up from each other. And what that will do is allow to compensate for any adjustments needed if the roof is not particularly true or anything like that. So they are designed to sit on top of these nuts and bolts here. Of course, then you would double nut everything to make sure everything is very secure. This concludes the tech video on receiving rings. For more information, please contact our sales staff, or you can visit PiedmontFiberglass.com for more information.